Hello and welcome to my next shoe experiment. A very kind lady has given me some helpful advice about not just cleaning the shoes with acetone, which I had been doing, but also to sand first. A lady from Customized Bling Things, which I've written down so I didn't forget the name, so go and check out her page if you're interested in shoes. So this is me with my sandpaper, giving these shoes a good sand before we start on anything else. And having been watching some of the Customized Bling Thing videos, it's given me more confidence to try adding some glitter. So I think what I'm going to do is add glitter to this toe, since this section is already segmented, and I'm going to be doing some cookie themed shoes, I think. So yeah, step one is me sanding the shoes. These shoes are now prepped, and I've just added a bit more white, some leftover pink paint I have here. It may or may not be enough, but it should at least be enough for an undercoat. I'm sorry for the background noise. As I say on most videos, I'm afraid this is currently what I work with, and if I didn't do videos with that in the background, I would never get them done. When I can, I try and do it when I have a bit of child-free time, but otherwise I just try and crack on regardless while she's playing. And I'm going to get it all over here if I'm not careful. That's why I've got a smaller brush to do around the edges. And I don't know know what I've said now. I don't know if there's a right or wrong order to do this in that, because I'm going to glitter the toe, I don't know if I should have done the glitter first or whether I should be doing what I'm doing, which is the paint first. So I'm just going with it. Because obviously my expectation is that the paint will be completely dry and possibly varnished before I start on the glitter, so hopefully it won't affect it. But this bit is kind of the boring bit of just getting the paint on the shoe. So I'd rather get that done, because the glitter looks, is a much more exciting bit that I'm looking forward to doing. So I thought I'd just crack on with this. It normally takes about 3 coats of paint to feel like I'm happy with the coverage. Maybe 2, we'll see how we get on. As you can see, it's fairly obvious what I'm doing. So I'll carry on with that and be back when the shoes are painted. So now I've painted the shoes, and that's all dry, and I've put a layer of gloss Mod Podge onto the toe, and I'm going to shake on this glitter as a first layer. Feels a little bit scary, but it's quite fun once you get used to it. And if I don't have enough of this particular shade of glitter for 2 coats, I may have to improvise and use something that's similar. But hopefully, if I catch enough of this on this paper, there will be enough, because it's only the toe. Just going to try and make sure all the edges are covered. Getting the edge of that toe around the sides, and this front edge here. And I will let that all dry before coming back to do another coat of the glitter. Last night I finished glittering the shoes. I've done 2 layers of the glitter, and then I've done a coat of this gloss varnish, which is supposed to have resin in it, I think, and is supposed to be suitable for outdoors as well as indoors. I've then been taking a sort of stiff stencil brush and trying to get rid of these excess bits of glitter that don't want to come off. That doesn't worry me too much because I'm about to add some embellishments and things on here, and most of that I think will be covered. So I have made, using a mould, some little cookies, and then I painted on the chocolate chips and added fabric paint, chocolate drip and some clay sprinkles, and then they've also been varnished with this. You can make cookies freehand, you don't need a mould, and I think there's a video on my YouTube channel that shows me making them. I make them with foam clay, and these are polymer clay, but the technique would be the same, and then you just cook them as the manufacturer instructions tell you to. So first I'm going to glue on my cookies onto my shoes and give those probably about an hour for the glue to go firm enough before I add some more chocolate drip, chocolate decorations with some more of this fabric paint. I'm just going to use a general adhesive because I found this works really well on everything I've used it on previously, so why wouldn't it work on here? But obviously if it doesn't, I'll have to rethink that. And I'm going to just position those roughly in the middle, but just below the edge where it will hit the foot, because they're quite flat and I don't want them to catch the foot of anyone wearing them. And then I'll just do the same with the other one. I think, ooh, if I don't drop it first. I'll try and sort of make it opposite. So on this one, it drips slightly to this side instead of slightly to the opposite side. Further up a bit, I think. Just giving them a good push down to make sure the glue adheres properly to the surface of the shoes. And then I'm just going to leave those to harden off. The cookies are now firm enough, so I'm adding the chocolate drip embellishments. I've already done the other shoe, which I'll show you in a minute, because I wanted to check what I wanted to do before I did it on camera. So I'm just going to do the same thing on the other shoe. Doesn't really matter where you start, but first of all I'm going to go along this edge, partly because I think it will help protect where that glitter finishes, but also because I feel like that needs a ledge of chocolate. And then I'm going to work around the top of the cookie to give that a bit of extra, and also when this dries it will help to adhere the cookie to the shoe. And then back along here, and I'm not trying to get it really straight because I want it to look like a chocolate drip, chocolate sauce, and they aren't, that isn't straight. And then I'm going to do the same thing right around the front. And then I decided that I wanted a second layer here of the chocolate to make it a bit thicker. And then I came around the front of the cookie to make some drips. Like that. And then I did some random spots of chocolate blobbed up here. Like that. And yeah, so I'm going to let those set before I try. While the front of the shoe is drying, I'm going to do a little bit of something on the heel. I just wanted to bring the chocolate theme along to the back of the shoe, if I can stay in shot. So I'm going to start by going along the seam where the heel joins the shoe with just a line of paint. And then I'm going to come back and add in some chocolate drips just randomly as I work my way along, all the way around the heel to the other side, so that that chocolate theme continues from the toe along to the back. Now I have started piping along the edge of the shoe with some cream glue. I'm going to try and do the other half of the shoe on the camera for you, but I normally hold this very close to my face. I don't really know why I do that, but it's just what I do. So I'll try and do a bit of this in shot of the camera. I've got a nice small nozzle because I don't want a large edging on these shoes, especially with them being flat. I'm sure there are lots of videos on piping on YouTube if you want to have a look. The techniques, this is only pretty basic. I think I probably ought to stop there because I cannot do this very well on screen, but you get the idea, and I'll go away and do both of my shoes in the same way. The edging I've piped is now all dry, and I couldn't decide whether I thought the shoe was finished or not. I've decided I'm going to bite the bullet and say no, it's not finished, and I'm going to just add a little bit of an embellishment on this outer back corner on both shoes, just because the back feels a little bit bare, and obviously on the inner side of the shoe, there's a bit of glitter there, you're not as likely to notice the decoration. So I'm going to put it on this outer edge at the top of the heel, and I've got these little resin chocolate chunks, and I just thought I would pipe a bit of the cream and add on a piece of chocolate. So let me just make sure that nozzle's clear. Shall we carry on? Just a bit like that. And then I'm just going to position the chocolate on like that and leave it to dry. So as well as adding my chocolate pieces, I've added a line of the fabric paint drip again to this side, and I'm much happier with how the shoe looks at the back now. I've also come along to the front and just added some more drips on this back section just to make it look even with this bit at the front, so I'm much happier with that. And these are all dry, so I think the only thing that's left is for me to come back in with my varnish and to give them probably 2 coats of varnish over the entire shoe. That's nothing flashy. I can't get a bigger brush into my varnish bottle, otherwise I would be using a larger brush. And I don't want to pour it out because I'll end up wasting it probably, because I'm good at pouring too much and then you know, losing it. And as you probably know, if you do anything in the craft world, varnish is not cheap. So I don't want to risk losing that, but obviously you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going around with the varnish and going to cover all of the shoe, including the glitter, which has already had 1 coat, but I'm going to give it a 2nd coat. And this dries, this is a clear gloss when it dries, but obviously you can get matte or satin and things if that's not the look you want for your project. Just try and make sure it's not, I'm good at leaving it thick in the crevices, and I don't want to do that. I'm just going to make my way around the shoe, and I will be back when they're done. So here they are finished. They've had 2 coats of the varnish. They're touch dry, although I'll probably give them 24 hours to completely harden off before packaging them and posting them or delivering them to the person who's going to be testing this pair for me. But I'm actually really pleased with how these turned out. I think these are probably my favourite of the flat styles that I've done. The piping's not perfect, but then of course nothing on these shoes is perfect because they're handmade, and hopefully if you like handmade products, you know part of their beauty is that they aren't perfect. But I'm really pleased with them. I'll definitely be glittering some shoes in the very near future, again, because that's so much fun and I think it's beautiful and really effective. So I have an idea for a completely different shoe design that is not food related this time, when I can get a chance. But yeah, I think I'll definitely be, if these test well, obviously if these don't stand up well to testing this piping, I can do this shoe without that piping and I still think they'd be beautiful. But they'll definitely be a pair that I will be offering for sale once they are fully tested and I'm happy with the outcome. Like to know your thoughts. I hope you found that interesting, and if you have any suggestions on themes or styles going forward, please let me know. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll be back at some point soon with something different. Bye.